American and European intelligence agencies are sounding the alarm because Russia and China are preparing a large-scale attack on Europe and Taiwan simultaneously. The United States military warns that according to American intelligence, Russia and China are planning a coordinated military attack. Today, one of the highest-ranking American generals in Europe stated that the European Union and the United States have only 18 months left to prepare for a global military conflict with China and Russia. Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping are preparing to deliver a coordinated and simultaneous strike in two directions at once to paralyze NATO. But NATO is also preparing for a major war. And recently one of the United States generals stated that the alliance has a developed plan to actually destroy Russia's military potential in Kaliningrad in just one day. Nevertheless, right now the Americans are more concerned about the Chinese, who in the past few months have demonstrated truly impressive levels of preparation for large-scale military operations. My name is Alexei Pechi. Today is July 18th. Let's discuss this topic together, but before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, give it a like, leave any comment you want, and be sure to subscribe to my Telegram channel, Peachy News. The link is in this video's description. So today, General Alexus Grinkevich, the head of the European Command of the United States Armed Forces, stated that Russia and China are preparing a synchronized military strike on Europe and Taiwan within a maximum of 18 months. According to him, if Chairman Xi Jinping of China takes action against Taiwan, he will definitely coordinate his actions with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. This would create the possibility of a global conflict. For me, this means that both events could happen simultaneously, the general stated. According to him, a double strike from China and Russia is approaching. Moreover, the year 2027 could potentially be a year of global crisis. Grinkevich, who is also the Supreme Commander of NATO's military headquarters in Europe, stated at a meeting of military and defense leaders that the current situation leaves the Allies little time to prepare. Quote, "We will need every piece of equipment, every piece of gear, and all the ammunition we can get to be ready for this." And so, according to the German publication, concerns about an imminent Russian attack on a small NATO country are also widespread in German government circles. The reason is that Russia is confident that Germany and other European countries will not be seriously ready for defense until before 2029. And this is a fact that was even publicly reported by the Germans themselves. That is, they openly say that they have just started preparing, and by 2029, God willing, they will have gathered a sufficient arsenal of weapons and an army to be ready for war. Accordingly, even members of the German government expect a Russian military provocation as early as 2027. Well, not to mention the military generals. And now General Grinkevich, who has only held the position of the highest-ranking military officer in Europe for a few weeks, also stated that NATO is making efforts to transfer additional systems to Ukraine. Patriot. Quote, "I will not disclose to the Russians or anyone else the exact amount of weapons we are transferring or the timing of their delivery, but I can say that preparations are underway." Grinkevich also announced that in the coming days he will meet with NATO military leadership to discuss further options for supporting Ukraine, especially in the area of air defense. And he called on NATO to act as quickly as possible. But the thing is, China already showcased its new military developments for a landing on Taiwan back in the spring. In March, videos appeared online showing the so-called Chinese large invasion barges. They appeared during landing exercises in the Zhanjiang area, which allowed the ships to unload tanks and heavy equipment onto the shore, without docks across a 120-meter bridge. So the ship just needs to approach within 120 meters of the shore, and this will allow for the landing to take place. As was reported back in the spring, China is currently building at least 5 of these new specialized ships, which apparently are perfectly suited for landing operations. These ships can provide the People's Republic of China with a unique opportunity to unload a large number of tanks right onto the streets of Taiwan. These conclusions were made based on the analysis of satellite images showing urgent construction work at several shipyards on the eastern coast of China, directly across from Taiwan. And after the discovery of the floating colossus, Chinese state media published simulation models of how these floating bridges could be used. And this proved that such open construction of these monsters is direct pressure on Taiwan. The same exercises in March showed that the Chinese military already has well-developed plans for an invasion of Taiwan. And apparently they are putting them into action using new technologies and large-scale construction projects. And here, the French magazine explains, quote, "The construction of such specialized vessels is one of the indicators that military analysts monitor for early warning of a possible invasion." These vessels may be intended for civilian purposes, however, the fact that so many ships are being built, which are significantly larger than comparable civilian ones, makes this unlikely. These ships are only suitable for delivering a large amount of heavy equipment to shore in a short period of time. For civilian purposes, they are significantly oversized. And that's not all. The commander of the United States Armed Forces in the Indo-Pacific region, Admiral Samuel Paparo, also warned that China is ready to attack Taiwan. Already in the year 2027, that is, in those very 18 months. And he warned that China is building weapon systems, including warships, at a much faster pace than the United States. According to him, China produces 2 submarines a year, while the United States only produces 1. The situation with surface ships is even worse. China builds 6 combat warships every year, while the United States only builds 2. Moreover, according to Paparo, China has a strategy, the so-called frog in boiling water strategy. That is, it's a gradual, slow increase in military pressure so that the rise in threat goes unnoticed until it's too late. According to him, Beijing is rehearsing the full range of military operations for Taiwan. This is a rehearsal of various scenarios, from a direct invasion of the island to its naval blockade. Paparo also noted the Chinese Navy's increased activity in other Pacific Ocean areas. In February, Chinese warships conducted live fire exercises near southeastern Australia and then, for the first time, sailed around the continent country. Earlier, United States intelligence warned that Chinese leader Xi Jinping ordered his military to prepare for an attack on Taiwan by 2027. In addition, amid China's apparent preparations for a full-scale war against Taiwan and the United States, the Pentagon is trying to find out from its allies in the region whether they are ready to join this war when it breaks out. We're talking primarily about Japan and Australia, and it's these countries that the United States is officially and directly asking, are you ready to fight if war breaks out? As for Russia, European intelligence agencies have long been saying that Russia could carry out limited military operations against the Baltic countries, at the very least to distract all of NATO's attention while China seizes Taiwan. At the same time, NATO has developed a plan for the rapid destruction of the Kaliningrad region in the event of a military threat from Russia. This statement was made by the commander of the United States Army in Europe and Africa, Christopher Donahue. According to him, the region squeezed between Lithuania and Poland is a target that can be destroyed in the shortest possible time. Quote, "Our forces and allies can wipe it off the face of the earth faster than ever before, and we are ready to do it. The tension is escalating, and it's clear that China and Russia will keep coordinating their actions." So for now, I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments below this episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like the video. If you want to support the work of this channel, you can do so with any donation on any platform or by becoming a sponsor. All links and details are in the description of this video or by scanning the QR code on your screen. That's all for now. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye, everyone. Subtitles created by